Will AI replace our jobs? That's the big question on everyone's mind these days. We'll look at two things in this video. How will AI impact our jobs? Specifically, you want to know if AI will impact your job. And two, what can you do to mitigate this impact? We'll also look at a few examples along the way. So, how will AI impact jobs? And specifically, will it impact your job? While it's true that AI has different impact on different types of jobs, fundamentally it is the same across all jobs. The fundamental question is, why does someone hire you? They hire you because you add a certain amount of value to their organization. Now, if AI can bring the same value that you bring at a lower cost, obviously your job will be impacted. For example, if you specialize in some kind of designing, say designing user interface components for the web of a software, or maybe designing logos, these things can increasingly be generated by AI and your jobs are in danger. For example, I recently wanted a logo for a new product that I was building, and I just went to a website which generated hundreds of logos for me, and I selected one in 15 minutes. Or if you're an engineer automating test cases for software, there are a lot of AI tools that can automatically generate test suites. Your chances of being replaced are quite high. Now let's say your role adds a certain amount of value and AI can bring a part of that value, for example 50%. The role is still required, but your productivity can potentially be doubled because AI can do half your work. So although your role cannot be fully replaced, only 50% of people in your role will be required. So unless you are above average or better than 50% of people in your role, your job is in danger. Before we can look at what you can do to mitigate the impact on your job, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button. Now, what can you do to mitigate the impact on your job and your career? To understand this, let me take the example of software engineering. Now, this could be applicable to any role or domain. Most people think software engineering is about programming, but the fact is it's called software engineering for a reason. So if you're a decent programmer, you will likely be replaced by AI, because AI can increasingly write decent code. But if you're a true software engineer, coding is only part of your job. Your job is actually to architect software to solve business problems. This is a key difference that you must imbibe and make part of your journey from the very beginning. And even if your core expert is programming, can you be in the top 10-20% of programmers in the world? AI will not likely replace everyone. So what can you do? The first thing is think broader. Make yourself a better software engineer, not just a programmer. Be a better accountant, not just someone who can do Excel. And so on, depending on whatever your role is. You should not be a small part of the picture. You should understand the bigger picture. Solve business problems using your expertise. Think about how AI can solve business problems for you. If you can add value using AI, it likely can't replace you. The impact on your job is inversely proportional to the value you bring to your job. So the more value you bring, the less impact on your job. Similarly, the more broader you think about your job, the bigger problems you solve, the lesser the impact on your job. The second thing you can do is be the best in your field. Aim to be in the top 10% of your field. If you don't think you have the aptitude to be in the top 10 or at least the top 20% of your field, pick a different field where you can be near the top. Not everyone can or should be a software engineer. Not everyone can be a chartered accountant. This means that the days of sleepwalking through a 4-year engineering course, somehow landing a job and figuring things out later are over. This may seem like a harsh reality, but it's quite true. So you have to be at the top of your game. The third thing you can do is become an entrepreneur. This should be obvious, so I won't go into the details here. The fourth thing you can do is achieve financial freedom so that you don't have to worry about a job to earn money. And if you want to understand the top 8 habits that help me achieve financial freedom, watch this video.